This is the uh, final project we did, and in the beginning of the semester we were going to do actually a animation like a short movie by using the animation 3D animation, but through the half of the semester we actually changed our idea to make this game with Unity. And the reason we did it is we checked firstly, we don't really like to do the 3D modeling, and secondly, is because we really like the idea of digital games, and also especially with this one, the procedure level design in games. So that's why we made this maze game. Basically, this is a first-person maze game, and the players start from these points and try to get to this point, which is the exit. And we applied several level design in this game. The first thing is about the maze itself. Because it is a maze game, so we don't want the game to be like too easy. Like everyone can escape the maze in like 30 seconds. That would be pretty boring. But at the same time, we don't want it to be too hard, like no one can complete it. That's why we made the maze like this. So the maze had three parts. The left part is red, green, and middle is green, right is blue. What it represents is the distance between the player's position to the exit. So when the player enters the maze, the player will be placed in this red zone, which is pretty far away from the exit. And this green part represents the player is getting close to the exit, and this blue parts represents the players getting really close to the exit. So the player actually know is it on the like the right track or the right way, and that's one thing. And the second thing is the difficulty of those three part of the maze is pretty different. So in the first part, the red part is the easiest part. So there are actually two ways towards to the red zone, to the green zone, and also uh, there are not a lot of not a lot of distraction way in this zone, so the player can actually find the way towards to the green zone pretty easily. And in the green zone, the is getting harder because there are a lot of dead ends, especially the player have to work a long way to find out that he is actually in a dead end way. And there also only one way to enter the blue zone. And the blue zone is the final part, which is uh, the hardest part. Uh, the thing that make it hard is that when the player enter the maze, there are actually so many uh, different choice that the player can take. Like you can see here is the entrance of the blue zone, and there are actually 10 way that the player can go. So because the player doesn't have the map, so the only thing he can do is actually just walk around and try each way. So this is the hardest part. And there are also some to make the game like a little bit easier, I placed three special points on the map. They're all on a dead end, a long way dead end. So the player is it is not that easy for the players to find this point. And what does it do is when the player stand on this point, the player can actually see the whole map for the maze for 8 seconds, and so the players can try to figure out where he is and the way to escape the maze. And I will do a walkthrough video now. So when you enter the let me get this. Okay, so there is something. So when the players enter the maze to the red zone, and the player can press L shift left shift to run, and or just walking the normal speed. So the player can enter this zone to check the map for 8 seconds, but only 8 seconds. And after time's up, the point will disappear. The player can no longer check the map anymore. And because the player now see the map, so it will be a little easier for the player to find the way towards to the green zone. And the difference between the top-down maze and this first-person maze is in this version, the uh, first player angle maze, it's really easy to uh, lost track of the directions. So the different colors of wall helps a little bit to identify the position. But when you're in some pairs that you cannot actually see the other uh, zone, it's actually really hard to keep track of the position to the direction. And also this is the hardest blue zone. When you enter this zone, you will see like so many different enters. If you actually try it one by one, it will take a really long time to find the correct way. And also even on the correct way, uh, we we placed a lot of like turns on it that kind of make it looks like a trap. So maybe the player will give up in the halfway and actually go back to the round route. So this is the exit. It's a bright yellow room, and after enter, it will show